Event 301 is the girls 13 to 15 years, 400 meters freestyle. Heat 1 of 8. Swimmers' names are on the scoreboard, as you can see. All the swimmers in lanes 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 are swimming in the age 13 category. Third in lane 7 is age 15. Trinity from Walton in lane 6 turning first, and the back end mostly in a row. Coming up to the 200 metre turn, it's still Trinity in the lead just from Chloe in lane 5. Chloe swimming for RTW Monson. Back to Chloe lane 1, just overtaken up that turn. On the 300 metre mark, we have Trinity in second place. Chloe in lane 5 has taken a good lead now. The other swimmers much together. And we mustn't forget Fern over there in lane 7. And Fern from RTW Monster going into her final 100. And coming in to finish in first place, Chloe Edwards from RTW Monson. It looks like Eleanor from Windsor second. The times will be confirmed when the race is finished, of course. And coming into the finish now is Fern from RTW Monson, finishing 6:24.09. Well done, swimmers. Heat 2.
Take your marks.
Two 13-year-olds swimming in this heat. That's Hannah in lane 1 from Maxwell and Eleanor in lane 5 from Eastleigh. The other swimmers all aged 14. The first of our 14-year-olds to swim this morning. And at the end of the first 100, that's Lara from Guildford, turning quite easily first. The other swimmers more or less in a line. Lara still in the lead, but not too far behind her now is lane 7. That's Amy Farrell from Hailsham, going into the second half of the race. So, going into the last 100, that's Amy in lane 7, turning first with Lara in second place, and very close to them in lane 5, Alana from Eastleigh, one of the younger swimmers. Time for her to beat is 5:09.67 to go into the lead. That was the time set by Chloe Edwards in the last heat. Could I just remind swimmers in the gallery that you must wear your masks, please, while you're in the gallery. Obviously not if you're actually eating, but in between mouthfuls. No, when you're not actually eating, could you put your mask on? And it needs to be over your nose as well as over your mouth, please. So. So, Hailsham's Amy Farrell, age 14, coming in, and she will record the first 14-year-old time of this morning's swimming. And that's Amy Farrell finishing in first place. 5:13.46, I think. Heat 3.
Take your marks.
So, pad sorted in lane 1, and we're into lane 3. We have all 3 age groups swimming in this heat. In lane 1, that's Catherine from Maidstone. She's age 13, as is Hattie in lane 2, Hattie from Whitney. In lane 5, Kira from Lancing College, also age 13. And in lane 8, Charlotte from Maxwell, age 13. We have 3 14-year-olds, Alexa in lane 3 from Atlantis, Orla in lane 4 from East Grinstead, and Nicole in lane 6 from Crawley. In lane 7, that's Scarlett from Andover, who is aged 15. Fastest 13-year-old to date from Heat 1 is still Chloe Edwards, Marty W. Monson, 5:09.67. So that's the time for our 13-year-olds to beat. Our 14-year-olds, we have Amy Farrell from Hailsham in the lead, 5:13.46. 13.46. Lane 5, that's Kira from Lancing College, one of our 13-year-olds. She's taken the lead now as they come up to the halfway point. And then over in lane 2, Hattie from Whitney, also 13-year-old, turning in second place. Kira pulling away now. Very clear lead, but still lane 2, still Hattie in second place, with lane 3 Alexa in third. And Kira going into her final 100 now. And the last turn for Kira in lane 5, and also for Hattie in lane 2, and all the others following fairly closely behind. But I think the lead place has been decided now. Just about 25 metres to go. Kira, 13-year-old, 5:09.67 for her to beat. It looks as though she's going to do that quite easily. And here, Kira Clout from Lancing College coming in first place. 5:00.50. Good time, Kira. Well done. Heat 4. In this fourth heat, we have 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds. Betsy, lane 1 from Fareham, is 13, as is Jemima in lane 4. Jemima swims with Portsmouth North Sea. Also from Portsmouth in lane 6, 13-year-old Charlotte. And from Milton Keynes in lane 8, that's Maria. The other swimmers are Rita in lane 2 from Woking. Flo in lane 3 from Bracknell and Wokingham. 5 is Farah from Amersham. And lane 7, that's Lucia from Milton Keynes. Those girls aged 14. Time for the 13-year-olds to better is 5:00.50. Kira's time in lane 1, in heat 3. And 14-year-olds are chasing Alexa Spicer's time 5:09.48. All the girls swimming more or less together. I think the Milton Keynes girls in 7 and 8 possibly slightly in the lead, although it's difficult to tell. Maybe it's lane 1, Betsy from Fareham. No, it is the Milton Keynes girls. So much easier to tell when the swimmers are turning, at least from my viewpoint. Lucia and Maria, Milton Keynes swimmers, pulling away from the others now as they come towards the halfway point. And Lucia turning just first from Maria. And then it's lane 3, that's Flo from Bracknell and Wokingham. And Lucia in lane 7 now going into the last 100. Maria in lane 8, following her is still lane 3 in 3rd place, that's Flo from Bracknell. Betsy in lane 1 from Fareham, catching up with her. And Lucia in lane 7 coming in now and touching for 57.79. That will put her into 1st place in her age group. And here comes Maria, who is the younger age group. She's finishing in second place. Heat 5.
Take your marks.
All age groups swimming in this fifth heat. In lane 4, that's Lexi from Epsom, and Lexi is the only 13-year-old swimming in this heat. Then in lane 1, Annabelle from Woking, lane 2, Maisie from Wickham, lane 7, Bella from Woking again. Those are all age 13. Oh, also Nava from Amersham, our 14-year-olds. We have 15-year-olds, Naya in lane 3 from Wickham, Madeline in lane 5 from Rushmore, Kelsey in 6 from Abingdon Vale. So the time for 13-year-old Lexi to beat is still Kira's time of 5:00.50. 13-year-olds are chasing Lucia's 4:57.79, and the fastest 15-year-old to date is Scarlett from Andover, 5:17.32. In the lead, coming up to the halfway point, is Nava from Amersham. Nava, a 14-year-old. Then in lane 6, that's Kelsey, 15-year-old from Abingdon Vale. Close on her heels, we have Madeline from Rushmore. Those two girls the same age, so they are actually racing each other. And Nava over here in lane 8, keeping up her lead from Kelsey in 6. And there's Maisie from Wickham over in lane 2, as well as Madeline in lane 5 from Rushmore. And Nava makes the final turn, still in the lead. For 57.79, the time for Nava to beat. But we have lane 6 coming up quite hard on her, also lane 5. Kelsey in 6, Madeline in 5, very close, and Maisie over in 2. Can Nava hold on to it? I think she's just about going to get the touch now. Just Nava from, I believe, Maisie in lane 2. Both of those girls are 14-year-olds. Just looking for a lost hat. I don't know how off-putting it is to lose your hat part way, but if I were a swimmer, I think I would find it very distressing. Here goes I think it's Bella from lane 7 to collect her hat. Good to see the sun shining so we can have a few spectators outside of the window. Let's hope the sun stays with us for the day, or the weekend even. Heat 6.
Take your marks.
No 13-year-olds in this heat, although we do still have, I think, 3 13-year-olds to come in the last 2 heats. These swimmers all either 14 or 15. Si Yao in lane 5 from Sevenoaks is 14. As is Eleanor in lane 8 from Elmbridge. The other swimmers all in the 15-year category. Lucia Lopez still the fastest of the 13-year-olds, her time 4:57.79. With Kelsey Sim from Abingdon Vale, 5:02.39, fastest 15-year-old so far. So, Madeline in lane 5, Madeline from Rushmore. No, I'm on the wrong heat. Lane 5 is Si Yao from Sevenoaks. And CEO turns first, easily first at the halfway point. Long way ahead of the other swimmers. Aneshka in 4 from Milton Keynes, and also Lily from Sevenoaks in lane 3 are in second place at the moment, chasing them over in lane 2. That's Alice Peters from Newbury. And with 100 to go, CEO from Sevenoaks easily in the lead. At lanes 3 and 4, Lily and Aneshka vying with each other for second place. They are both 15-year-olds, so CEO is aged 14. And 3 in a row down here in 6, 7 and 8, Isabel, Elizabeth and Eleanor. For 57.79, the time for CEO to beat if she's going to go into the lead in her age group. Obviously still quite a few 14-year-olds to come in the last 2 heats. And CEO comes in first place. Lovely swim there. For 45.82, very good swim. Heat 7, the penultimate heat.
Take your marks.
So age group wise, Annabelle in lane 3 from Wickham and Alexa in lane 6 from Thanet are 13-year-olds. Alexandra in lane 2 from the City of Southampton. Skye from Rushmore in lane 4. Neve in lane 5 from Epsom. And Lucy in lane 8 from Amersham are 14-year-olds. And we also have 15-year-olds, Ella in lane 1 from Littlehampton and Alice in lane 7 from Northsea, Portsmouth Northsea. So all age groups represented, but we still have at least one from each age group in the final heat, so nothing will be decided on this heat. And Kira, still the fastest 13-year-old, 5:00.50. She's held on to that lead since heat 3. See Yao from Sevenoaks 4:45.82, the fastest 14-year-old. With Lily from Sevenoaks 4:55.01, the fastest 15-year-old to date. And it's Rushmore and Southampton turning almost together. That's Sky and Alexandra in 4 and 2. Wouldn't like to split them. And coming up between the two of them now, Annabelle from Wickham. And also in lane 5, that's Neve from Epsom, up there with the leaders. And just Alexandra in lane 2, just ahead of Sky in lane 4 as they go into their final 100. But Neve in lane 5 is coming up fast on Sky. They are both, in fact all three that I've mentioned are 14-year-old swimmers. For 45.82 the time for 14-year-olds to go into the lead. And it's still Neve Sky in lane 4, just about holding off Alexandra in lane 2. Yep. And Sky finishing first. 4:46, I think. So putting her probably into second place. Need confirmation from our officials, of course. Now the final heat, heat 8.
Take your marks.
So this final heat, in lane 2, the last of our 13-year-olds, Amelia from RTW Monson. And we also have one 14-year-old, Alana from Tigers, Jersey, in lane 6. All the other swimmers are 15-year-olds. And Lucy from Wickham with a good body length lead coming up to turn at the first 100 from Annabelle from Elmbridge in lane 5. And the other swimmers much in a row. Lucy and Annabelle, both 15-year-olds. For 55.01 is Lily Marie Derry's time. See Yao from Seven Oaks still holding the fastest 14-year-old time of 4:45.82. And Annabelle Compton from Wickham, 4 minutes 50.54, is the fastest 13-year-old. Another little message here, but a very important message for swimmers. Swimmers, can I remind you that when you leave the changing rooms to come upstairs, you must be dry. Please don't try to come up the stairs wet. It does leave you open to slipping. Obviously, stairs get wet and anyone can slip on them. So please make sure when you leave the changing room, you are dry. And back to the pool, it's Lucy. Wickham's Lucy Fox in lane 4, turning easily in first place. Annabelle Pilgrim from Elmbridge Phoenix, second. And lane 8, Arabella Lester from Mid-Sussex Marlins, just holding on, I think, to third place. All those girls are the older age group, 15-year-olds. Lane 3, Creswyn Smith from Amersham, also 15-year-old, is coming through now into third place, I think, as they go into this next turn. For 55.01, the time to beat. And Lucy Fox finishes in for 34.05. Good swim. And I will read out the top 3 swimmers from each age group once the results have been confirmed. The next event, event 302, is the girls' 200 individual medley, heat 1 of 8.
Take your marks.
So, going this first heat, all the swimmers are aged 13. I can give you the top 3 from the age 13 400 free. In third place from Thanet was Alexa Miles. Second place from Wickham District, Annabelle Compton. And in first place in 4 minutes 50.05 from RTW Monson, Amelia Oliver. Well done, girls. In the girls aged 14, 400 freestyle, in third place from the city of Southampton, Alexandra Bassett. In second place from Rushmore Royals, Sky Austin Burrows. And in first place in 4 minutes 45.82 from Sevenoaks, Si Yao Lee. Well done, swimmers. Swimmers in the pool finish their backstroke leg, and we have lanes 5 and 6. That's Ilana and Hattie swimming neck and neck there. And another race going on between Kira in 4 and Jasmine in 3. Kira, of course, held the lead in the 400 free for so long, just overtaken by the final heat. Meanwhile, the top 3 in the girls age 15 400 freestyle. In third place from Amersham, Creswyn Smith. Second place from Elmbridge Phoenix, Annabelle Pilgrim. And in first place in 4 minutes 34.05 from Wickham District, Lucy Fox. Well, thank goodness for electronic timing, because those 3 girls seem to me to come in touch for touch. Heat 2.
Take your marks.
Swimmer in lane 2 is Cara from Maxwell. She's a 13-year-old. We have 14-year-olds Trinity in lane 3, Maisie in 4, and Sophie in 6, with Kayla in lane 5 from Black Lion being a 15-year-old. All 3 age groups represented here. Rushmore's Sophie Duckworth turning first at the halfway point. Over in lane 2, that's Cara from Maxwell. She's in second place, coming through on the breaststroke though, I think. Fastest 13-year-old, Cara being a 13-year-old. Fastest one so far is Ilana from RTW Monson, 2:46.93. And at the final touch, it's still Sophie in the lead, coming into the freestyle last leg. Sophie's still just ahead, but Cara coming up in lane 2. I think Sophie's going to get the touch. Just there. Well done, Sophie. In second place, Cara. Heat 3.
Take your marks.
Amelia at lane 2 from Mid-Sussex Marlins, and Lilia in lane 8 from Sevenoaks, both 13-year-olds. 14-year-olds Orla in lane 1 from East Grinstead. Penelope in lane 5 from the city of Southampton, and Lauren in lane 7 from Dorking are all 14-year-olds. 15-year-olds Ruby in lane 3 from Fareham, Catherine in lane 4 from Bracknell and Wokingham, and Victoria in lane 6 from Didcot Barramundi, those swimmers aged 15. Ilana from RTW Monson, the fastest 13-year-old to date, 2:46.93. Sophie from Rushmore Royals, fastest of the 14-year-olds, 2:46.40. And Kayla from Black Lion is the fastest of the, in fact she's the only 15-year-old to have swum so far in this event, 2:48.75. Bracknell and Wokingham's Catherine in lane 4 in the lead. 2:48.76. Sorry, 7.5, the time for her to beat to go into the lead in her age group. And I wouldn't like to try and say who's in second place. It's pretty close. Lane 5, that's Penelope from City of Southampton. She's coming up well, as is lane 1, Orla from East Grinstead. In fact, it's Orla in second place. Catherine finishing first. 2:43.99, I believe. Making her fastest so far in her age group. Heat 4.
Take your marks.
All three age groups represented once again. Lane 5, Abigail from Woking, and Lane 8, Katie from Whitney and District, both 13-year-olds, two 14-year-olds as well. That's Manna in Lane 4 from Woking and Lauren in Lane 6 from Four Shires. So that leaves us with Lucy in Lane 1 from Leatherhead, Paige in 2 from Rushmore, Amber in 3 from Portsmouth Northsea, and Miller in 7 from East Grinstead, all aged 15. Amelia Roberts from Mid-Sussex Marlins is the fastest 13-year-old so far, 2:46.35. Orla Evans from East Grinstead, fastest 14-year-old, 2:44.62. And Catherine McBride from Bracknell and Wokingham, fastest in the 15 years age group, 2:43.99. Portsmouth Northsea swimmer, I'm confused. She's got a Portsmouth hat on, but she's swimming with, according to this, Fareham Nomads. That's Ruby Hudson in Lane 3, just in the lead. But Amelia Roberts in Lane... Oh, I'm reading the wrong list again. No wonder she's wearing the wrong hat. That's Amber in Lane 3 from Portsmouth Northsea, just having been overtaken by Paige in Lane 2 from Rushmore on this breaststroke leg. And Paige has really come up on that breaststroke because she's got a good lead now from Lane 5. That's Abigail from Woking. And over here in Lane 7, Miller from East Grinstead, coming up onto second place, but it's Paige with a good lead there coming into the finish. And Paige finishes in 2:36.75, I think. I'm not too sure. Can't see the scoreboard too well from here. Well done, girls. Heat 5.
Take your marks.
And once again, we have all age groups. Heidi, Lane 2, is from Thanet, and she's a 13-year-old, the only 13-year-old in this heat. Phoebe in Lane 1 from Eastleigh is 14, as is Fern in Lane 5 from Sevenoaks, Bethany in Lane 6 from Mid-Sussex Marlins, and Madeline in Lane 7 from Wickham District. And 15-year-olds, Rebecca in Lane 3 from Littlehampton, Ellie in Lane 4 from Crawley, and Rhys Erin in Lane 8 from Eastleigh. Those 15-year-olds. Abigail Elford, the fastest 13-year-old to date, 2:41.66. 14-year-old Lauren Kenner in the lead, 2:42.49. And Paige Austin Burrows, the fastest 15-year-old to date, 2:36.75. And Sevenoaks Fern in lane 5. With a lead going into the breaststroke, halfway up the breaststroke length. She's still there, but being chased by lane 4. That's Ellie Parks from Crawley. In fact, Ellie coming right up on her shoulder now. Also coming through fast in lane 7, Medley from Wickham District. But it's Crawley's Ellie Parks turning just first from Wickham's Madeline Hepworth. Ellie a 15-year-old, Madeline a 14-year-old, so they're not strictly swimming against each other. Also swimming a good length of freestyle is Sevenoaks Fern Gray in lane 5. But it looks to me as though it's going to be Madeline coming into touch just ahead of Ellie, with Fern in 3rd place close behind. Heat 6.
Take your marks.
Reminder to coaches that you need please to be seated on the ledge. You must not walk forward at all. So could you please all move right back and do take a seat. Rest your weary legs. Oh, in lane 3, that's Annabelle from Wickham District. Annabelle, 13-year-old, and Annabelle, of course, was second in the 400 free earlier. In lane 7, that's Athena from Thanet, also 13-year-old. And we have 14-year-olds, Hannah in lane 1 from Maidstone, Millie in lane 2 from Eastleigh, Alice in lane 4 from Sevenoaks, and that's it in the 14-year-olds. And then 15-year-olds, Chloe in 5 from Wickham, Abby in 6 from Maidstone, and Isabel in 8 from Bracknell. Still two 13-year-olds to come in the last 2 heats, and plenty of 14 and 15-year-olds. Lane 1, that's Hannah Murphy in the lead at the end of the breaststroke. Hannah chasing Paige Austin Burrows' time of 2:36.75 to go into the lead. And Hannah's going to hold on to that lead, coming in fast now to the end in lane 1, 2:35.36. And that, I believe, will put her into the lead in her age group. Well done, Hannah. Penultimate heat, heat 7.
Take your marks.
Just one 13-year-old, that's Hazel Ann Carter from Wickham in lane 4. 14-year-olds, a Kane in lane 2 from Woking. Eloise in 5 from Epsom. Alana in 7 from Tigers Jersey. And Ava in lane 8 from Fareham Nomads, all 14-year-olds. 15-year-olds, Martha in lane 3. Freya in lane 1. Amber in lane 6. Freya from Milton Keynes and Amber from Thanet. Just one 13-year-old to go in the final heat, and two 14-year-olds coming up, so getting close to the end in those age groups. Fastest 13-year-old to date, Abigail Elford from Woking, 2:41.66. Hannah Murphy, the fastest 14-year-old from Maidstone, 2:35.36. And Paige Austin Burrows, still the fastest 15-year-old, 2:36.75. Good swim here from Hazel in lane 4. Coming up to the end of the breaststroke leg in the lead. Body length, maybe 2 body lengths behind her in lane 3, Martha from Sevenoaks. (2:41.66), time for Hazel to beat. And she's going to do that easily, 2:32.44. Excellent swim, well done Hazel, with Martha in lane 3 coming in second. Final heat, heat 8.
Take your marks.
So the last of those 13-year-olds is Holly Wayman from Maxwell in lane 2. Two 14-year-olds, Evie in lane 1 from Maidstone and Jessica in lane 5 from Guildford. All the other swimmers aged 15. In heat 7, swimmer in lane 2, Akani Hinkapi, was disqualified for a technical infraction. Sophie from Woking turning just ahead at a halfway point from Aoife from City of Milton Keynes in lane 8. Sophie, quite easily the fastest entrant. Obviously with a strong breaststroke as she's pulling away now. Sophie is a 15-year-old, and Martha Roberts from Sevenoaks has the fastest 15-year-old time to date. 2:35.97. Hannah Murphy, the fastest 14-year-old, 2:35.36. And Hazel Ann Carter, the fastest 13-year-old, 2:32.44. Holly from Maxwell in lane 2 has come through now, coming through really fast on this freestyle, coming in to finish in first place. And Holly is a 13-year-old. And her time, I think it says 2:28.53, close to that anyway, will make her fastest in her age group. And that's it for the swimming for this session, I believe. There's nothing else left on my list. So we have finished swimming for this session.